Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
The world is leveling harsh sanctions against Russia after its troops began to move into Ukraine. President Biden announces what the U.S. plans to do next.
Scammers get creative to take your hard-earned money. Consumer advocates warn crooks could impersonate your boss.
Plus, as Candace mentioned, it's wet and cold out there. A doctor offers advice on navigating slippery roads and sidewalks to avoid a trip to the ER. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. World leaders condemn Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent actions. He's ordered troops into 2 pro-Russia regions in eastern Ukraine, which he now recognizes as independent.
The White House is labeling the move as an invasion. President Biden talked sanctions earlier today. Hannah Brandt has details as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The president is slapping economic sanctions on Russian institutions and elite families, saying the goal is to cut Russia off from Western financing.
Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors?
President Biden says now that Russian troops have invaded 2 eastern regions of Ukraine, it's time to punish Russia with sanctions.
None of us should be fooled. None of us will be fooled. There is no justification.
And the president promises to ratchet up those sanctions if Russia pushes further into Ukraine.
The Biden administration has misjudged Putin about as badly as anyone since the world misjudged Hitler.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says the U.S. cannot give in to Vladimir Putin and Russia. European leaders are also taking action. Germany is stopping the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project, which would bring Russian natural gas to Germany. And Britain is sanctioning multiple Russian banks. Back here at home, the conflict could mean even higher prices for gas and foods like corn and wheat.
Defending freedom will have cost for us as well, and here at home. We need to be honest about that.
Despite these sanctions, President Biden and American military leaders are saying they still hope that President Putin turns to diplomacy and avoids a full-blown war. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
3 men are guilty of federal hate crime charges for Ahmaud Arbery's shooting death. After 4 hours of deliberation, a jury found Greg and Travis McMichael and their neighbor, William Bryan, guilty on all charges. Prosecutors say the 3 violated Arbery's civil rights and targeted him because he was black. The men had a deal in place to plead guilty. It would have let them serve life sentences in federal prison instead of state prison, but the court rejected the plea deal after strong opposition from Arbery's family.
Beloit police search for a hit-and-run driver. The crash happened this morning near the intersection of Henry Avenue and Riverside Drive. Investigators say this man caused the crash, then took off northbound on 51. It's not clear if anyone was hurt. If you see this green Humvee with front-end damage, contact police. There's still time for Belvidere parents to let the district know what they want in the next school superintendent. Community members can voice their opinions in an online survey. Prompts include characteristics of a good leader and what priorities the candidate should have for District 100. Current Superintendent Dan Weisman took a new job in another district. The survey closes at midnight. You can find a link to that at mystateline.com.
Many of us are used to scam phone calls trying to sell extended car warranties, but a new text scam could lead to you sending money to someone you think you know. The Better Business Bureau says crooks are pretending to be bosses or company CEOs. Scammers send texts to employees saying they're tied up in a meeting and need the recipient to send them a gift card. Rockford BPB Director Dennis Horton says that should raise some questions.
Anytime you're being asked to do anything using gift cards, that is a huge red flag. No legitimate business does business that way. They may, you may have employers who give gift cards as rewards, but they don't transfer money using gift cards.
Horton adds, when faced with a questionable call, email, or text, don't react right away. Think about what's being asked of you and confirm if a message is real with the person it's supposedly coming from.
The Stateline saw rain for most of the day. Now a drop in temperatures is causing icy conditions on the roads.
Some businesses closed early for the day, and after-school activities were canceled in Rockford due to the weather. Let's head back over to Candace to find out what to expect tonight. Candace.
Yeah, and we even had some schools that actually canceled here early this morning with some of the icy conditions, mostly across Wisconsin, northwest Illinois. But as our temperatures kind of fell throughout the morning near freezing, we actually had a little bit more freezing rain take place. Now, we still do have a winter weather advisory. That advisory actually extended here to include the entire viewing area. That was early this morning as those temperatures fell back. This advisory goes until 7 o'clock here this evening. Not because we're expecting any more precipitation, but because of the residual impacts. You've got the moisture. We had some really heavy rain come down, even some thunderstorms and some thunder sleet in some spots. So there's been a lot of standing water because the ground is still frozen. So you see a lot of that on the sides, your backyard, parking lot, sidewalks. But then you're also left with that residual moisture from the rain, the freezing rain and sleet that came down earlier today. So now that our temperatures are falling below freezing and are below freezing, that residual moisture, while main roads may be okay through the night, you still could end up with some icy conditions on those back roads, side roads, country roads, county roads, parking lots, sidewalks, bridges and overpasses, not only through the night tonight, but also into the morning tomorrow. So those slick conditions, something that'll continue, and you need to keep an eye on for that as you head out the door tomorrow morning. After tonight, things are going to be quiet, but guys, we've got some snow kind of too to talk about. So I'll have a little bit more on that and kind of why we had a lot of that freezing rain, what happened in the atmosphere to prompt a lot of that. That is coming up in the full forecast a little later.
All right, thanks, Candace. When roads are icy like they are today, doctors encourage people to stay home if possible and wait for conditions to improve before heading out. Emergency rooms have already reported weather-related injuries. That can include patients from car accidents or slipping on ice leading to broken bones or even head trauma. One ER doctor with UW Health tells us a broken wrist can take your hand out of commission for around 8 weeks. While it might be your instinct to break your fall with your arm, there's a better way to land.
We usually get rigid. We kind of want to brace for that impact. The better way to fall is to actually put a little bend in things. So bend in your knees, bend in your hips, bend in your elbows, protect your head, whether you tuck it or whether you use your hands to do that.
If you do fall and hit your head, doctors say it's best to err on the side of caution and pay them a visit to rule out a brain bleed.
A longtime Stateline business is relocating. Guler Appliance Company in the Midtown District is headed to Rockford's Miracle Mile.
The family-owned business has been in Rockford since the early 1930s. Rachel Perry spoke with the company's president today. Rachel, what's behind the move?
Mimi and Eric, he tells me booming sales has created a need for more space, but he says saying goodbye to their Midtown location and its history isn't easy.
Being third generation, I have mixed emotions.
Out with the old, in with the new. After 86 years, Guler Appliance Company in Rockford is moving.
We are looking for new beginnings for Rockford to serve them with their appliance needs and other products that we'll be carrying as well.
From Midtown to Rockford's Miracle Mile, the new location is only about 3 miles away. But company president Dale Johnson says the move is still bittersweet.
Thinking about my grandparents and aunts and uncles who worked and sweated here for many years, but I think they'd be proud of what we're doing.
Guler remains family-owned, passed down from Johnson's grandfather, Andrew Guler.
Here, this was the original owner.
The new chapter for Guler's offers nearly triple the amount of space, which Johnson tells me is perfect for their growing business that saw an increase in sales during the pandemic.
We are kind of unusual in that it's been very positive for our industry as a whole.
According to Johnson, sales at Guler's have nearly tripled since the start of the pandemic.
The thing is, people have been home, they've been using their appliances more, which in turn makes them break down more. Besides stimulus money, and then people having extra money to spend rather than going on trips and other things, they've purchased home furnishings.
Johnson tells me he's excited to keep the family name where the business began.
I've been here 60 years. Other family members have as well, so yes, we love supporting local, and that's our philosophy.
Guler's new location is expected to open in June. Currently, the company is in the process of selling the 3-story building on 7th Street. Mimi and Eric?
Driven by that 7th Street building hundreds of times with that big Guler sign on it. It'll be weird to go past it without the sign there, but it's nice to know they're just down the street.
That's right. Glad they're staying in town.
Thanks, Rachel.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, things will be a little bit more quiet for us this evening compared to what we started off at this morning. However, those icy conditions from the leftover freezing drizzle, freezing rain, and rain showers and the moisture on the ground and on the road surfaces kind of refreezing thanks to those sub-freezing temperatures. That'll be our biggest concern here as we go through the night tonight. A live look with a Mercy Skytrack camera now out over downtown Rockford. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of those icier conditions. You really are going to have to watch through this evening those bridges, the overpasses, as ground temperatures are still very close to freezing. So those main kind of traveled roads might not necessarily be quite as icy as the bridges, the overpasses, as you've got that airflow that kind of rides right over, or I should say under that bridge. So it really helps to increase the cooling effect. Then you've got sidewalks and parking lots, the back roads, county roads, country roads. Those may still be a little icy even though that precipitation has come to an end here tonight. So that'll kind of be our impact as we go through the overnight and then into tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we are dry, but again, still could be some icy conditions. That rain, heavy rain, thunderstorms, you had thunder sleet come down in some spots, freezing rain, all of that now has moved out. With the cloud cover though this evening, wouldn't be surprised if maybe we actually get a few flurries that come down over the next couple of hours. But we had quite an interesting kind of scenario going on in the atmosphere with a cold front that came in Sunday night. Our winds yesterday for the better part of the afternoon at the surface were from the east and northeast. So that kind of kept our temperatures on the cooler side, especially once we got into tomorrow, last night, I should say, and this morning. So let's talk about our different types of precipitation because we pretty much had it all with really the exception of snow. At that cloud layer, all that precipitation is in the frozen form, so it falls through the clouds as snow. Depending on where it enters the atmosphere at and what's going on, you kind of have to think of the atmosphere as an apartment building and all these different layers. So for rain, from about the mid to upper part of the atmosphere all the way down to the surface, you are above freezing. So that snow, it melts, turns into the liquid form, and you have mostly rain coming down. When you talk about freezing rain, your snow comes down, it enters a larger warm area in the atmosphere, completely melts, but your temperatures at the surface are near freezing. So it freezes on contact. For sleet, we had some sleet today, yet that warm layer is still present, but it's actually a little smaller. So you get partial melting of that snowflake, and then it refreezes through a larger portion of the atmosphere coming down to the surface. And for snow, it is all below freezing. Our temperature is below freezing here for us tonight. 24 for our weather watcher Mike in Forston. Had about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice there across northern Ogle County. 23 for Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford. Things are going to be quiet weather-wise. Again, just those icy conditions. Temperatures will be cold too. Wind chills in some spots tomorrow morning, as low as about 10 below. We'll keep kind of a sun cloud mix, highs in the low 20s for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night we are back down in the teens. We start our Thursday off relatively dry, but we start to see some light snow begin to work in. Once we get into Thursday afternoon, and Thursday evening, some minor accumulations are possible with that, and that'll take us into Friday morning. So temperatures tonight down around 11. Again, those wind chills down as low as 10 below. 23 for tomorrow afternoon. You're up to 28 on Thursday. 26 on Friday. We warm it into the 30s here for the weekend. I do think, guys, maybe by early next week, we could make it back up close to 40.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Will Aaron Rodgers move on from the Packers or won't he? Everybody's looking for clues. He put out a long Instagram post last night expressing gratitude for the people in his life. Today, on a regular appearance on the Pat McAfee podcast, Rodgers said he posted that after going through a 12-day cleanse. He also said he had nothing to announce regarding his decision about his future, other than he's looking forward to making a decision and moving ahead. He says the best part about being in the NFL is the friendships he's made. Rodgers could make a decision on whether to stay in Green Bay, leave, or retire in the next week. The icy roads have led to some girls' tournament basketball games tonight being pushed back to tomorrow. The two games at the Class 2A Johnsburg sectional included Byron against Johnsburg, and Winnebago against Aurora Central Catholic. Those games will now be played tomorrow. Also pushed back to tomorrow are the 1A sectional games at Forreston, Pecatonic against Stockton, and Galena against Aquin. They'll be played tomorrow. As of now, the Hononegah at DeKalb High School game against South Elgin is still on. Now, the Rock Valley College women's basketball team is raking in some honors. Freshman Cameron Blank has been named the N4C Player of the Year and the Region 4 Player of the Year. Blank attended Jefferson High School. Freshman Ashante Brown made First Team All-Conference and First Team All-Region. And sophomore Rachel Rittmeyer made Second Team All-Region. Head coach Darrell Watkins was named the N4C Coach of the Year. The Ice Hogs have a busy weekend ahead of them. They're going to play 3 games 3 nights, Friday through Sunday. Interim coach Anders Sorensen is hoping his guys rebound from a pair of 5-2 losses to Grand Rapids last weekend.
We're in a good spot still. I think, we recognize the weekend wasn't our best, but I think that we've been on a little bit of a roll here, and I think that we're pretty happy with our game is overall. Obviously, there's some details that we have to maintain throughout the 60 minutes of each game.
Candace will have another look at weather in just a moment.
But first, News Nation highlights some sports history.
A miracle happened 42 years ago today, the biggest upset in all of sports when the U.S. hockey team beat the Soviet Union. Tonight, Rob McClanahan talks about that anniversary and weighs in on the current tension between the U.S. and Russia on News Nation Prime.
That's all coming up later on the fastest growing cable news network in America. Catch News Nation on any of these cable or satellite channels or newsnation.com.
Well, it is a slippery mess out there this evening.
It was amazing. You had some really heavy rain, over an inch across parts of the west suburbs, southwest suburbs. I know I had a lot of rain down by where I live. Going just a couple miles north of there, ice covered the trees. Sure. Yeah, with some of the freezing rain that came down.
Well, even around here, there's scattered spots where some of the trees look beautiful because you can see the ice is kind of frozen on there and kind of sparkles a little bit.
And you can hear it kind of crack as the wind blows.
I heard thunder too at one point today.
We had thunder, thunderstorms, thunder, sleet,
and now there's water pooled all everywhere.
It is crazy.
Oh man, what a mess of a day.
It's a mess, yeah. And things are going to be slick for tonight. We're pretty much done with the precipitation. You've got a few flurries that'll kind of come down here through this evening. The first WARN interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Temperatures tonight down to 11. Wind chills tomorrow morning as low as 10 below in some spots. But the thing we have to kind of watch out for tonight, that residual moisture, kind of freezing as temperatures are falling back below freezing. We're up to 23 tomorrow. We will likely see some accumulating snow throughout the day on Thursday, and then 30s for the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.